Hi everyone, I'm Lark, and I have a website called LARK'Sperennials.com, and it's a garden website and forum where we chat about our gardens, vegetable or flower, container, raised bed, whatever type of gardening you like to do. Come and join in. Give us some info on your gardens or answer questions, but just come and join us. www.larksperennials.com. Today, I'd like to give you a tour of my garden, my flower garden. And it's very cottagey and mostly perennials. And I'm here in Wisconsin, zone 4 or 5. Lately, just 5 because of global warming. And I'd like to just show you some of the things that are blooming in the late July, August garden. And we are about a month ahead. This is really more like the late August garden because we got warm really early this year. And we are in a drought right now. I like to use a lot of texture and different foliage colors because it gives me longer interest than just flowers. So lately, the last maybe 5 years, I've been concentrating on burgundy foliage and variegated foliage and some natives. That burgundy bush back there, I keep pruned every year, and it's a Diablo 9 bark. I like the burgundy foliage. Gets flowers in spring, and I like the wispy look to it. There's a few flowers here that I don't have a lot of, but are interesting. This is, I think the botanical name is called Persicaria. I call it the fleece flower. Blooms a long time. Gives a nice vertical statement. And this burgundy one is called chocolate. Eupatorium, I think the common name is snakerut, with the silver king artemisia next to it. My lilies are really blooming smaller this year because of the drought, but it still has a nice fragrance. It's about 7 p.m. here in Wisconsin, so I hope the lighting is okay. This little, it's called a brown-eyed Susan or a branch coneflower, is native to Wisconsin, and it gets hundreds of these, probably silver dollar size flowers. It does reseed a lot, so I deadhead it and cut it back before it reseeds all over, but it isn't hard to pull. I also like using this rose campion because if you deadhead it, it blooms for 2 months. That's great bloom for a perennial. Another great bloomer, if you deadhead it and adds a lot of brightness in the garden for a long time, it's been blooming for about 2 months, is feverfew. So I use a lot of that also. Trying to grow a yucca, a variegated yucca. It made it through one winter. That is good. Another grass I use is called Morning Light. And what's in front of it and not blooming is a very pretty goldenrod. And don't cringe when I say goldenrod. It is a beauty in the late summer, early autumn garden. It's called Fireworks. Really a pretty one. This grass is very, very lacy looking, fragile, gets nice plumes. And then there's another grass right back there. It's called Little Blue Stem. Pretty coloring too. Very, steel blue-gray. I'm sorry, I can't name all the flowers, but I hope I'm hitting on a few that you see in the video. This is a native, the blue, quite a true blue. It's called Great Blue Lobelia. Starts blooming now, and it'll bloom probably into September. So, and it blooms in sun or shade, wet or dry, and consequently I call it a go crazy plant. Some people would call it invasive. I don't think so. It pulls easily, and it's a thread through my garden. So I have blue Joe Pye Gateway. Nice height. We've had several storms the last 10 days and gave us much needed rain, but it knocked some of the big stuff down, so I have it tied now. Great phlox if you like a real hot pink fuchsia called Starfire. Very hardy. My castor beans have not gotten their 7-foot height, and I'm sure it's because of the lack of rain. A nice Veronica. This one here I trim back. This one's called September Charm, I believe. A nice blue, deadheading, really prolongs bloom. Gives me, I'll deadhead it another time. I've deadheaded it once. It's the second month now it's been blooming. This grass here is Little Zebra. Probably about max out at about 4 foot, but I like it. A variegated ground cover sedum. Nice and drought tolerant, as is this Helen von Stein Big Ears, I think. It's called Big Ears, lamb's ear. Doesn't get a flower, and doesn't reseed consequently and flop all over. Nice burgundy ground cover sedum with blue fescue. Variegated sedum, taller one. Adds a nice golden color now. I have to watch that it doesn't revert back to green. I just pull it out if it gets a green stalk in there. Daylilies are pretty much done. This one's a nice fragrant one. I don't know the name of it. I like this grass. In the later in the fall, when it starts frosting, it looks so pretty and sparkly in the morning. I use a lot of, or several, probably about 9 pygmy barberries for that burgundy color. Quite drought tolerant. And my smoke bush. Now I cut this down to about 3 foot every year. That's all new growth there. This grass here is Miscanthus Dixieland. Very, very nice. Mostly white in its variegation. This is going to be a 2 or 3 part walk, so if you want to join me in part 2, I only have 10 minutes on this non-HD camera of mine. This is a lot more of that Great Blue Lobelia. We're getting down into the shaded area here, and it really, really adds that pretty vertical statement. I like Lady's Mantle as a ground cover. Japanese beetles were eating my Japanese painted ferns. Variegated Solomon Seal. And a plant, it's called Simicifuga Hillside Black Beauty. And it has a nice color foliage and a very, very fragrant flower, probably in a couple weeks. It's starting to head right now, but I put it next to a path, so the fragrance is up close when we walk through here. I like the balloon flower, and stay tuned for part 2 of my cottage garden. And thanks for viewing. Remember, check me out.